All right, we are live. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Hi.
So I've got Mark Prosh and I have Harvey Gillen um, of What We Do in the Shadows. A great show on FX. I'm hoping everybody that's watching right now has seen it because it is so funny. We're in season 2 right now, and it has been just a great continuation of what you guys are doing. So good to have you guys.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
me. Quinn.
I speak for Harvey in all these interviews.
That's
All
right.
right.
He is Harvey Gillen.
So Harvey, you play Guillermo, and this season, well, really at the beginning of the last season and into this season, pretty much all the plot has revolved around your character. you, you're a familiar who wants to be a vampire and is starting to feel this pull that maybe that's not what you were born to be. How's this been for you to kind of be thrust in the middle of everything this season?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know that we were going to go in the direction that we did. I think last season for Guillermo, I really just saw him as like, I think I even talked to Mark about this. Like, it was just like, he's just there. He's like, he's the reaction to the audience because, all the crazy adventures they get into to a human is like, what's going on? But I didn't think that we were going to go in the direction that we did. So when I read the finale for season one, I was like, oh wow, that is a huge, plot twist. And then season two filming, I didn't know all the stuff that was going to happen as well. So at the table read, I found out that I would be doing some stunts and that we're definitely going after this Van Helsing side for story. And it was nice to go in that right because I usually don't get the opportunity to play action stuff, and
Yeah.
so I hit the gym, and worked out and got better at running upstairs, without huffing and puffing. And I think that was the accomplishment in itself. Is really,
Absolutely.
yeah, just going up a flight of stairs. But it was nice to just see this adventure side definitely come forward.
I love the accidental action hero that you've turned into.
Hero by accident, yeah.
So, Mark, your character too, Colin Peterson, has had some unexpected twists. The romantic episode towards the end of last season was hilarious. Um, I, I just love the idea of the energy vampire. How fun is Colin to play?
He's super fun. I mean, it's such a unique character that Jermaine came up with of him in your life. Many energy vampires in your day to day life. That getting a chance to play one has been pretty fun.
That's great. Well, Mark, one of the staffers at Paste had turned me on years ago to Kay Strauss. And it was only recently that I put two and two together that that was you. Can you just talk a little bit about that early phase of your career?
I was living in Milwaukee at the time, and I was bored, and a friend of mine, Joe Pickett, and I came up with this idea to take this dumb guy character without the morning shows knowing that I was playing a character, and so I would get on and then talk about, my character was this guy that was going around the Midwest, going to schools to teach kids about the environment through his yo-yo tricks. Well, obviously that's asinine. And so when I would get on the morning show, I would basically just make a jet. The writers of The Office saw it. People started uploading it onto YouTube, and about a month after I started doing that, they called me and flew me out to meet with the writers. And a month after that, I was on the show. So making a jackass of myself finally paid off, I guess. So.
There's a lesson in there somewhere
There
for
is,
the
yeah,
showbiz. Yeah.
yeah.
Victorian house that you live in is the main place, but also the other places you've gone have been very just beautifully production designed. What is it like on set to be doing this ridiculous vampire show?
I think every time we go to set, Kate Bunch has done an amazing job with that design that I find something new every time. I get excited when we get a new room like this season. We introduced a new room, and last year, did we introduce the fancy room or the living room, which was beautiful and so detailed. I think at one point, Mark, you picked up a book, and the book was from like 1892, like an
Yeah,
original copy. Like the details are crazy.
yeah, the details are really incredible. And I being on other shows, the panels would be removed. It looked like an office, but you in the mansion, in the vampire mansion, I mean, it really feels like a home. And especially when they have the fireplaces going and it's cold and snowing outside in Toronto, and you're indoors on a really nice sofa. You really feel like you embody that character, and the set really helps that a lot.
That's great. The origin of this whole world, which was a stand-up routine that he and another comic did, and then brought in Taika Waititi for the movie, and it just reminds me a little bit of like K. Strauss, just doing this ridiculous thing, because he would have a heckler as a vampire, like heckling him from the audience on his set, and they would get into this ridiculous argument, and that was sort of and try something and what that can eventually become. I love the parallel there, so that's very cool.
Yeah, I when people ask me, younger actors or comedians ask me like, what should I do? What should I be doing? And Jermaine, fell backwards into this concept somewhat by going on stage and just goofing around with one of his friends, and as much as I hate the term, but this organic, will this get me on TV? Will this get me traction in Hollywood? The last thing I ever thought would happen is I would end up in Hollywood. I mean, that I wasn't an actor. I wasn't pursuing it in any way. And, I just, again, you just kind of have to get off your ass sometimes.
You've been doing this since you were pretty young. Can you talk about a little bit about your journey to getting here with Guillermo?
On that question.
Sorry, it actually did go down the wrong too. But.
I know I wanted to be an actor, and I guess I have the opposite of Mark's story. I wanted to be an actor when I was little, and my parents wouldn't let me because they didn't think that was a profession that was dignified. And it's not. It still isn't. And I told my mom I wanted to be that. I wanted to be an orphan. And she looked at me weird, and I said, no, I want to be that. And it's like, oh, they're actors. And I was like, oh, I want to be an actor. And so I remember asking for money to take an improv class, and they couldn't afford it, my parents. Being the son of immigrants, looking back, I was like, I really wanted to do this. So then I was like, I must have had something in me that was like, either a distraction of like what life was being like at the moment, just like full straight ahead, like, okay, this is what I want to do, and then kept doing it. And then weirdly enough, I booked this in the most weird, untraditional way. I went to a wine and cheese night, and I met someone there who recommended me for the role.
Oh, wow. Well, that's very cool. Well, it's so good to have you both here. Weird cycle for actually now having the show come out. So that's, I know, better than having to shut down the set that you were on. You actually was there work things that were getting canceled? Or where would you be doing right now if you went
I was
home?
filming actually up until the week when the shutdown in LA happened, and I was in New York, which is probably not the best. The day that we wrapped and I flew back is on a Thursday. I flew back, and that Friday all the bars and kind of the small businesses started closing in LA. So it was like the perfect timing in a way. Like I got back and I was like, oh, and whatnot that had to be canceled, obviously for obvious reasons. But that's pretty much it. I kind of got that film in the can right before it all happened, and then got to go home and quarantine.
Taking the little break, and I'm just doing little projects around the house, little things that I've put off for a long time.
So one thing we ask everybody when they're on is films, whatever it is.
Music's a very important part, I think, of everyone's life, and we turn to it for different and days meld into one. As far as TV, I really am addicted to this HBO show, My Brilliant Friend, which is full.
Yet, so that is good to know. I need to move it up the list. How about you, Harvey?
I've been watching some docs. One of them that I just saw on Netflix that was really cool, produced by Ryan Murphy. Yeah, I think that's the last thing I saw. I really enjoyed that.
Work with Jermaine Clement, work with the rest of your cast members.
I never met them before the pilot, and the first interaction I had with them was when they actually called me on the phone to be working with different people. Everyone's different, the chemistry, and I love working with both of them. They're
and we were kind of the only American actors on the Brits, because they had all worked together and Jamil at home with everyone, but obviously that comes along. On set, we have a lot of fun. I mean, I know that's cliche, but we do laugh a lot. There's a lot of or Kayvon or Natasha or Matt will come up with something that you were really.
Characters on set is undeniable. I've never been on a set where everyone just work. I never go to work. It's like hot potato. No one's ever gonna drop the hot potato. It's like the game, but we can go for a while, and we'll never see that footage. We'll never see 20 with creative people like this cast, because you'll never have a lack of talent.
Hours.
When we get called to set at 5 a.m., we play hot potato from 5.
Explain to everybody what happens during that time.
A hot potato from the set oven, then you're just throwing a potato.
Yeah, then it cools down, so we have to get the backup potato.
You need a lot of. Is known for really providing the produce. This is over. What's next for the two of you? Do you have anything lined up that you're excited about, or either personally or professionally, to get to go do?
And like everyone, and not being a couple scripts that I'll maybe start pursuing, other than.
Well, you gotta have a backstory on Mark. Mark is, because this is your biggest nightmare. Right now, he's really good about keeping things clean, on set, and I just can't imagine that to see friends, and to see same, FaceTime is great and whatnot, but work on this, for another season. Hopefully, this all pans out.
Bring in Ben Nichols from Lucero here.
Hey guys.
Hey, so I'm gonna save, so I'd love to go around and everybody just say somebody they'd love to toast.
Right.
Right now is a time, the position to be able to do that. But I just folks when they're in need. So to the folks at Music Cares.
It's a good choice.
Perfect.
Raise a glass to the ASPCA, and I know challenging atmosphere than ever, and they're really an outstanding organization and should be applauded for that.
Toast them to.
I think to obviously all the first responders, and feedingamerica.org for keeping kids fed and families fed during this hard time. Can't imagine what it must be like. So
no, I'm joking, please.
Those were all good choices. I'm gonna toast to being a 15-year-old during all this mess, being a teenager, or my 3. So it's tough on the kids. So let's do one for the kids.
Well, Harvey, Mark, thank you so much for joining us today. This was so much fun. Watching, if they're not, thanks, guys. All right, Ben, it's all recording. So
cool.
Anybody who's out there and the sound's not great for you, it'll be.
I couldn't turn my iPad off fast enough, and I tried to throw it out the door, but I could still hear it through the door, and then I had to go tell my.
In the Zoom live stream era, Memphis guy, you're now in Ohio.
Yeah.
How are you?
And nobody can find me up here, so it's nice. I can hide out, and Memphis is home for Lucero, and all the other guys are basically from there and out in the sticks in Ohio. But it's a perfect place. We got enough land to not be too crowded in. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I think there's a lag. I apologize.
No problem. A pretty cool studio there with Sam Phillips. is
very
historic.
And we did it at Sam Phillips Studios, which everybody knows, as a studio. So you got to do all these genius with sound, and the building kind of reflects that. And it's exactly the same as it was in 1960. So it's
Playing just tons of shows a year. How has the last couple of months been of being at home and anything, right?
it's true. We got lucky long tour.
Oh, wow.
So the timing was good for us. We've got some stuff booked in July, but for the fall comes around. If there's a second wave in October, what do you do then? We're supposed to record a new record, so I've been taking the bulk of my time. My wife works from home, so I spend most of my time going and playing on the trampoline.
Well, we appreciate you joining us here for this. Be recorded.
And he's been doing really well. He recorded People, and Sam Phillips is a cool place. So much time to work on the songs now. Maybe I'll go in a little more prepared for this one. They can take months to write sometimes. This song my brother's a guy named Jeff Nichols, and he's made a few movies, 5 actually.
A few great movies.
With Michael Shannon, and which is apocalyptic. And this is an older song, just kind of a deep cut. Like I knew it would begin, the night sky knew. See that look there in your eyes. Move along, lose it all. I don't know just all I know. You gotta move. Keep you close. Storm to match a paler horse. Oh, I don't know just what we'll do. You gotta move. All I know. My nose keep you close. I don't know just where we'll go. All I know is keep you close.
Oh, it's so good to hear that song. And I've met your brother. I've seen most of his.
He's nice enough to still include us. We did a lot of work on Mud. With big end credits, which was what Shelter was, and there's one on the new record, but he's got a lot of irons in the fire. He's working on some new projects. I always enjoy getting writing, so he's got good stuff coming out.
That's fantastic. So, as you're in Ohio and the rest of the world,
in a curse. The whole last record, I got my wish. I get to go home and just do nothing but spend time with my family. Which is the band, is trying to upload stuff to SoundCloud. Go down May 1st, and we were supposed to start recording, but that was just cutting it a little too close. It was a little, and then the engineer and producer. So it won't be a whole lot of people, but we'll see what this will work. And these new songs are exciting.
A new song, or are you gonna play us another something old?
I was gonna play something old, but now I kind of feel like playing a new song.
We got time.
We got time? Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll do a third.
All right.
Great.
Yeah, out of this old folktale, but kind of updated it. It's called A Match. Thanks for letting me do this.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so new I don't know it. Gamble is what we're going to do because I haven't learned the new songs yet.
Just a sweaty rock show in general where it's
something old that I don't know if I know it. This is called Hey Darling, Do You Gamble? I stole this. And they interview Townes Van Zant's third wife, and she tells the story about them. Perfect for a song. I don't think it's in any of his songs, so I'm going to steal it. I'm going to use that. Hey, darling, do you gamble? Hey, darling, do you have taken now? Well, now we'll fall to the sea. The flash that this skin of iron on me. Well, there's no map bend, but with you I can't win. Now happily, well, now happily to the sea. take a chance on me. But intuition sure counts for a lot. Bigger you and me. You gamble. Well, I'll be your gambling man. Never. Well, now I believe. Well, it falls into the sea. If I take a chance on me. Hey, darling, you gamble.
Do you gamble?
Yeah.
So it looks like you're in your music room there. Do you have a space for making stuff?
Everybody's got a basement. And look, the bedroom I wished I had when I was, 16. Work on demos and just hide for a little bit. Not for too long. That's the best. Yeah, she's not afraid to pick up a microphone and just start belting it out.
I love that. That's fantastic.
It's like, I'll play drums for you. Yeah, let's do it. And the 15-year-old that I mentioned earlier, it's tough being 15. She's upstairs only, and it's not quiet here in quarantine. There's a lot going on in this house. So one day.
That's amazing. So, book, album, something that's just fun and distracting, or is really speaking to you right now?
Man, it's the book. I don't know. This isn't exactly what you're talking about, but it's this Paul. I was ashamed that I'd never read it before, so I ordered it on Amazon, and I've just been good stuff in there.
Important part of your job is that getting up on stage and feeding off the audience. Finally getting to do that again.
Man, yeah, creative output. If you make a painting or write a novel or live music of any kind. And so, yeah, I do. It's good for the soul. It makes you feel like you've done something right for once. And I don't know, seeing all my friends across the country. I don't know. I'm fairly optimistic. I think, and take advantage of being at home. I might feel, well, you've had your family now. One day, I can't wait.
With the full band and...
it'll be nice when things get closer to normal, at least.
Being a dad and writing new songs for the new album and coming to do this for us.
With those guys, because I love the original movie, and I love the show. It was...
All right. Thanks so much, man.